Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you guys are doing good. I am doing just great. Here is the Warmoth body, and as you can tell by the logo inside the neck pocket, yep, she's a Warmoth. So what I got going on over here is it's got its, sanding coat of clear on there, and you can see all the white is white the way it's supposed to be. There's no fingerprints on it or anything else, no dirt, no dust, no nothing inside of it, but all of the lines from masking this are gone, and that's what I wanted to achieve with this, so I can get a nice flat finish when I end up putting the final coats of clear on it. Now the owner did want to have the burst over here. It's exactly the way he wanted it, and yeah, so this will be ready right now for its final coats of clear. The cavities that are all, drilled into this body, the pickups, the control cavity, has all been shielded with shielded paint, so there should be no reason why this thing needs to be reshielded with anything else, because it's already there. And when I clear coat this, it's also going to clear those cavities as well, and putting a protective coating over that, so it should never scratch, it should never chip out, it should never leave any type of residue on your fingers if you try to go inside here and do anything with the controls or even the pickups. I hate the shit. It works good, but I hate the shit because it wipes off. It gets on you, and it kind of stains clothes and stuff if you get it on your clothes. The neck here has got a beautiful bird's eye maple on there, and he's got his little guy on there for the Warmoth logo, and the neck has got its before final clear coat, so I got to do some sanding on this. The neck is all, fretboard's all taped up, so I didn't get anything on there. And then I have to do some sanding. This is the logo that he wanted on here, which mimics the, almost like the ESP logos, where it has a shadow, and he wanted to have it to be gold, yellow, white with the Made in USA logo under. So that's done. I have to do a level sanding on this before I put my final clear on that as well. It's coming along slowly, man. I have taken forever to get these guitars ready and done and finished and out the door. This damn heart attack bullshit kind of set me back pretty good, and usually I'll get things done within a month. I'll get a guitar done, but yeah, this has kind of set me back a lot. Been having a lot of doctors for this, and every time I get out of the doctor's office, they want to see me back in 2 weeks, and it's like, I'm doing good, I'm fine, the medicine's working, I'm keeping myself busy, keeping myself moving, eating right, doing what I'm supposed to be, but they still want to see you in 2 weeks. So a lot of the doctors, like I have 3 of them that I have to see, and yeah, so it's kind of fun, but at least this stuff is getting done. I don't like sitting on it. I don't like holding on to somebody else's projects or somebody else's property and not getting it back to them. So this is like the longest that I've ever taken to get a guitar done. And well, in this case here, I have 3 of them. I still have the checkerboard one that I have to finish putting back together, the Les Paul Muse, and then I have the other one, which is right here, and I've got the neck sprayed. That's got to get its final sanding done, and I got the logo on there and everything else. So this is going to look really, really good together, and yeah, I just have to put this thing together now too. So yeah, it's been kind of rough, but things are moving. Slowly, but they're moving. All right, so I'm going to get this thing sprayed and get back and start doing some sanding on this neck. All right, so I'm back up in the booth, checking this thing out, making sure there is no fingerprints or anything that is on the white that's going to be trapped under clear. Everything's all wiped down. Man, I have used this booth so much that it is turning into a little bit of a mess. I've already cleaned it quite a few times, but I tell you what, this was the best investment that I could possibly get for doing what I'm doing with these guitars. So everything looks good over here. Let's go around to the front. I've got a brand new box of clear, and I'm cracking open right now. So I got a brand new box over here. Yeah, I've been doing some yard work. Got my grass looking pretty good. Got the yard looking pretty good. Got a few more things that I need to take care of with that. But right now, this is more important. All right. So I've decided I'm not going to go with the custom cans clear. I kind of like the way that these are. These were working really good for me, and I haven't had any issues with it. Not that I had really any issues with the custom cans product, but I will use the custom cans for custom paint colors that I can't get from Spray Max or what is it, Auto 66 that I've been getting. So I'm going to go ahead and shake this up, pop the cap, push the button, shake it up some more, and start spraying. All right, so the first tack coat is on here, which is basically a little bit heavier than a dusting of paint. So I gotta let this thing kind of cure up for about 10 minutes, and then come back and then do the final coats. I'll probably use a whole can of paint on this thing, or clear, and then let that cure up. Then I'll do my level sanding and get it done. So right now I'm gonna go downstairs, back in the shop, and start working on that neck. So I'm back in the shop, and I've got the Warmoth neck in front of me. I've got some 1500 grit sandpaper that's been soaking in some lukewarm water, so that's nice and soft now. And what I'm going to do is get this headstock done, and then the back of the neck and sides completed. So all I'm looking for here is just to level this thing off, get rid of the logo lines that are around, and just, you know, get it ready for next couple of coats of clear. I mean, really, it's been really good with working on this stuff. I haven't had any issues. Things have been working out pretty good, and I kind of want to keep them that way. So 1500 grit sandpaper works out really, really good with doing this, because you're not cutting it fast, you're cutting it slow. And let me get a rag so I can wipe this off and see what my progress is. Nice thing about using this Microsoft rags that I've been using is they are washable, and as long as you don't have any wood chips or anything else inside of it, should be pretty good to go with it. So I'm going to get this thing sanded. I'm not applying too much pressure because I don't want to go through anything. The way that I've been doing my headstocks, it looks like, especially when you look at it around the edges or the sides of the headstock, it's got a look like it is a plate on top of the headstock instead of being paint, and it's kind of what I want to keep as far as how these been looking. I don't want to go sand too much, do too much with it. All right, so how am I looking here? I'm smoothing out pretty good. I'm going to get rid of these little divots. See how far I can get it down with the 1500 grit. I might have to do a little bit of touch up around the logo, not much, but that's not going to be a big deal. It's pretty much just black, right? Alright, so she's getting down close to where I want it. I don't feel the logo, so that's kind of nice. I'm not using like a soaked sandpaper here because I don't want to have a problem where it's basically causing me to have an issue where I have any swelling going on around any of these holes. So I'm just going slow with it, letting the sandpaper do its job. Making sure everything stays nice and flat. Alright, so that's good enough for the next coats of clear. Like I said, I want to do some touch up around this logo a little bit. Not that big of a deal. So now I want to get to the back of this. The back of this is going to be flat up to a point because there's a little bit of a volute here. So I'm going to go ahead and shake off a lot of the water that's on here and just kind of sand this down a little bit. Just keeping everything, all the flat surfaces flat. This way, get into light, you shouldn't have any bends and any type of weird or strange looking stuff. I get into the light and I can kind of see where I've missed and see a little bit of gloss a little bit around everything. I mean, it's not completely flat just yet. Oh, this bird's eye maple neck. Even the headstock, the top of the headstock, when I stripped off the paint that was on there originally. Man, does it have a beautiful bird's eye. This volute has some sharp edges on there, so I'm going to keep them sharp. I don't want to change the angle of how it feels, which you can. I mean, you can easily change, even when there's a clear coat on it, you can change how something feels. And it's getting close to where I want it. Got this area here still, that's got to be flattened out a little bit more. So I'm probably going to do that by hand with my block. I like to use blocks. They work out really nice, keep things flat, but still get into curved areas. Well, it's getting there. It's getting where I want it. Not very fast, and that's the way I want. So I don't want to be cutting this thing so fast that, if I used 800 grit sandpaper on this, I would have been done by now, but it would have cut so quickly that I could lose, the little logo that's on here. I can sand through the finish real fast with the 800 grit, and I don't want to do that. I'm also going to use this block to do the sides. And see what I mean when I make it look like there is a cap on the top of this, which there isn't. It's just paint. And that's what I like. There's no bleed through or nothing. It's just nice solid straight lines. I just want to dull everything down. So when I put the next coats of clear on here, it has something to stick to, and it'll be nice and level. Like I said, I'm not using a lot of water because I don't want no wood to swell. Sometimes I'll use like a mixture of alcohol and water so it evaporates a little bit faster, but I haven't been doing that lately. I've been kind of doing things a little bit differently. Block sand the headstock, top of the headstock too, because that also is a nice flat surface and I want to keep it flat. This way I can get the final coats on the body and get final coats on the neck, so both of these could dry at the same time, and I could start putting it together all at the same time. So I'm checking to see what kind of gloss spots I have still, and it looks like it is pretty damn good. So now to get into the neck area, which I am going to use a block on this as well. Use the edge of the block for the sides because they're kind of flat until it starts to get to the round part of the back of the neck. Now for the back over here where the heel is, shake off some of this water, and this is going to get block sanded because this is a nice flat surface meeting another flat surface. So this gets block sanded so it stays nice and flat. The nice thing about the logo is it's burned in. That's good enough for that. I don't need to do any customizing or any painting on that as well, like, you know, make it look real sharp and pretty. It's more of these sides and edges that need to be nice and pretty. So you shouldn't feel any type of a tape line when I get done with this. There is clear on the edge of the fretboard, and that's why I have it masked the way that I have it, because there's still the old clear that I didn't sand off when I sprayed, before I sprayed this. So what's going to happen is it's going to transition from this new clear to the old clear that's on the neck, and there shouldn't be too much of a tape line that I can't remove and buff out. So this is fairly easy. The only bad thing is I only have one hanger in the spray booth to hang the guitar in. So this I will be doing outside of the spray booth. It's so small, and you know, it's not going to take a whole can of clear to make this look pretty. So now for the neck itself, I'm going to freehand it. This way I have control over what I'm sanding, how I'm sanding it, and all these bends. And this is how I get a neck to look really flat, and you don't feel any waves or anything inside of it. Even when I do the buffing, it's the same way. Just follow the whole neck up and down. And I think he said he wanted to have a flat finish on the back of the neck. I gotta go back and look at his comments between emails back and forth to make sure that that's what was said before I do it. So let's see how much. Alright, so I see a little spot right here. That's a low spot. Other than that, that don't look bad. Just got this one low spot here that I need to sand through or sand out. So when I put the next sand clear coat on here, that'll be invisible. Now I'm sanding all the way up to the volute of the neck and not going past it so it doesn't make any flat spots where that volute is. And when I sand the sides up to the headstock, I'm actually sanding all the way up to here, but keeping this nice and sharp on the volute part of it. So this, I want to say, is pretty much done. All right. So what I gotta do now is just do some touch up around the logo and back in the shop or the garage and give this thing its final coats of clear. Oh man, that bird's eye maple is fucking beautiful. A little bit of a flame in there as well. Man. All right. All right, so I want to see how things are looking over here. Open up the bouncy house, spray booth, whatever you want to call it. The nice thing about this thing is it kind of force dries. As long as you keep the flaps, doors, or whatever you want to call them, closed on this thing, it'll end up circulating air inside of there to where it kind of forces things to dry a little bit faster. So, oh yeah, she's looking good. Let me put some light on. Little bit of orange peel. Not much. I've got the binding over here. I'm going to try to get it pretty much level with the sides and the back. Oh yeah, she's looking good. Looking really good. I just gotta let this thing dry. Once it dries, I go ahead and start doing my wet sanding on it and buffing it out. Out here, I got a couple of things going on. So I started doing the sanding on the tribute guitar, on the neck, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but maybe if I shut the light off here. All right. There's letters as fret markers on the side of the binding, which is Mike's full name, with a little dash in between. So I ended up shooting this a little bit more clear after sanding it, and yeah, so now I won't feel those fret markers should blend in. And as for the Warmoth neck, give it a little bit of light here. There you go. That's coming out beautiful. Oh, I love that. Love that wood on this neck. Really nice. So I just have to let everything dry and get to wet sanding. So right now I'm putting the muse together. All right, you guys, take it easy. Have a good one. Catch up with y'all later.